Have you guys ever wanted an exotic pet? Maybe something that was cool or something you didn't see all the time, but maybe you guys thought it was too expensive, too hard to take care of, or maybe not the friendliest pet? Well, today I'm going to be telling you guys about a species of exotic pet that's actually the opposite of that. I'm going to be telling you guys all about crested geckos. These are a small gecko that comes from an island off the coast of Australia. These guys were actually considered extinct up until the early 90s when they were rediscovered by some scientists. Not only are these guys easy to keep, but they're also generally inexpensive and they're actually pretty friendly. Let's see. One of the things that makes them a really good pet is that they're pretty handleable. They can be jumpy at times, but if they do jump, if they only jump maybe from your wrist up to your shoulder or something like that, they're not going to jump, onto the ground and run away and you're never going to find it again. They also are pretty slow moving, so you don't have to worry about it like just zooming off somewhere under the couch or anything like that. Another thing about them is they have a really calm demeanor, so they're not going to bite, and if they do bite, which is a very rare occurrence, according to Adam Black's 2005 book, Crested Geckos, their teeth are actually very small, and when they do bite, it doesn't feel like anything more than a small pinch. Another thing that makes them a really good pet is the cost. The animal itself usually only goes for maybe $50 or $60, but typically they're almost always under $100. Some color variations can go for a lot more than that, and that's going to be something like this here. Something like that is going to probably run you closer to $200 or $300. The nice thing about these, even though they're expensive, is that they're typically produced by local breeders, so you're not going to be buying it from like PetSmart or Petco or anything like that. And that's a good thing in itself because you'll be supporting a small local business instead of buying, from a main retailer. So you're helping a small family or something like that with their small businesses. Let's see. Another thing that's also inexpensive is the enclosure and the equipment that you need to keep them. The enclosures are also usually around $100 or less, depending on how crazy you want to go. You can keep them in something like this, which is obviously going to run you a little bit more than $100. You can go crazy with all the different plants you can put in there. The enclosure is like specifically designed for reptiles, so they have front opening doors as opposed to like an aquarium for a fish or something like that. But you can also keep them in a lot simpler enclosures like a plastic tub. A lot of people use like storage tubs, but they modify them. They put like a plastic lid on them that allows them to breathe and stuff like that, and they actually do pretty well in those. They're just not the most aesthetic thing. Let's see. Another thing that is the reason why they're good pets is that they're pretty easy to take care of. According to Philippe de Vasjoli in his book Crested Gecko Care from 2003, these guys don't require live foods. You can feed them like formula. It's basically a powdered fruit, and you just mix it with water, and it stays fresh for a long time, so you don't have to worry about mixing it up all the time. Another thing that makes them easy to take care of is that they don't require daily interaction like a dog would. You don't have to take them out on walks. They don't need it. You can interact with them every day to make sure that they'll stay more used to you, but it's not a requirement for their care. As far as things that are actually a requirement for their care, you just have to feed them every day. You can spray water in their enclosure every day to make sure that they stay not moisturized, but they have the proper humidity so they don't get dehydrated. That's something that's especially critical with like babies and stuff like that. The equipment that they require is nothing crazy either. They don't need like any crazy lights like a lot of other reptiles do, where you need like special UVB lights or anything like that. You can keep them pretty much with just like fake plants in the enclosure and maybe a small container just to put water in it. Other than that, they do pretty well with like a minimal enclosure. And other than that, you really just have to give them like a bi-weekly cleaning. Those are some of the reasons that I think they make really good pets. So if you ever feel that you need or you're interested in keeping an exotic pet, I think crested geckos are a really good option just because, like I said, they're easy to take care of. They're not that expensive, and they're actually a pretty nice animal, so they're good with kids and stuff like that again. otherwise, yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening to my